All right. So I'm Sean Ewell. I'm an intervention specialist at Wickliffe High School. So I do not teach. I'm not a big science person like a lot of people here, but I have to teach science. I teach the low incidence class. So I have a lot, mainly moderate to severe disabilities in my classroom. We have about 5 or 6 students given the year. I also incorporated a bunch of other special needs students in this program as well. But first we started out, last year was my first year at Wickliffe High School. I noticed that there was a greenhouse that was donated a couple years ago, but never really utilized that much. So I was like, what could I do to maybe utilize that and maybe make myself look good? So what I did is I wrote this grant with the help of Sherry Consilia, the transition work coordinator, and we came up with this grant to kind of explore what we can learn about plants using this greenhouse. And we kind of started off with going with, okay, we can do pH testing, we can do soil testing, we can do the scientific method, uncontrolled variables, and all of that. That was the plan. My students had a really tough time grasping a lot of it. Even kind of like lowering it down to their standards, it was still very hard. So we kind of ended up going to, okay, let's plant things. Let's learn how they grow. Let's learn what the stems are. Learn what photosynthesis is, and all of that type of thing. And I think that really broadened their horizons even more than I expected. We actually partnered with another group in Wickliffe called Keep Wickliffe Beautiful, and they're part of Keep America Beautiful. And they helped us out a lot too because they gave us gardeners. They gave us different ways that we could grow all of our plants and everything. So we started off just learning about the scientific method, learning about photosynthesis, learning about the different parts of a plant, and then we went into, okay, how are we going to grow these plants? So we used everything that is here, as well as other things that PSE gave to us, or we got from the money at PSE. We ended up planting tomatoes, peppers, we planted marigolds and petunias out in front of the Wickliffe High School, and we charted how much they grew. We ended up charting how much the tomatoes grew, how much the peppers grew, and then one weekend the greenhouse had their windows open, and we came in, we went in to water our plants, and they were all dead. So we went and talked to the gardener, the gardener at Keep Wickliffe Beautiful. I mean, obviously my students were very, very upset about it. They were really, really going about these plants. And there was a white fly invasion that killed and ate all of our plants in that greenhouse. So at that point we were like, so we kind of had to like go off of there and see like what else can we do. So we ended up doing a lot more things online and learning just about different kinds of plants, like about different kinds of trees and vegetables and how they grow and what kind of sun they need. Do they need partial sun, full sun, and how much watering do they need? And we kind of end up going in more of that technology direction. And then towards the end of the year, we got the idea of planting a pumpkin patch on the premises. There's a greenhouse, and then right next to it there is a patch of land that is not ever used. So we were kind of like, okay, what else can we do to kind of further this grant and make sure we have a little bit more than just what we did with the tomato and peppers that died, sadly. So we actually started, you probably can't really see it very well on here. We started with this patch of land that is completely green space. Then actually when we were doing this, is interestingly enough, they were tearing out the front sidewalk in our school. So we were like, so Sherry and I were both there. We're thinking, how can we get a bunch of dirt from there over to our plot of land? Because we're doing this like almost at the very end of the school year. So we ended up, I guess, kind of making them come over and dump all their old dirt and all their old, concrete-ridden dirt in this big plot of land, and then we're like, okay, this is it's like 3 big mounds of dirt, and I have pictures on here. It's very, very hard to. We were out there at 90 degrees. It was almost impossible. And then all of a sudden, one of the workers comes over with a bobcat and starts leveling out all the dirt for us. So we leveled the dirt was all leveled out. and it was great. But as we were sifting through the dirt, there's cement, there's asphalt in it, you know. So we're like, we don't know if anything's going to grow. You know, it's very tough soil. But we wanted to try because it's not really part of the grant at this point, but it's something that we love doing this now. This is like it's going to become more part of my curriculum. And so we started here with, we have probably about 24 different pumpkins, and we ended up growing a huge amount of pumpkins, a huge amount of at least leaves and vines. They were everywhere, going all over almost into the street. And then one day we ended up actually coming in, and a lot of the leaves looked gray. So we went and researched, my class went and researched just like with the white flies, and it was white mold that grew on leaves. So I don't know what is with white in my class, but you know, there's something going on there. So being a school, Sherry Consilia and I had to research what we could use to combat this white mold. And being a school, we could only use, what do we say it was? Organic materials. So we put together Dawn and all these other different things, just organic materials, and it ended up killing the leaves. It killed the white mold, but it also killed the leaves. But I know. And so basically, the end result of everything, the kids loved it. The kids had a great time. They always asked when we're going to go down to the greenhouse, when we're going to go water, and even though we're not doing the grant again this year, we are working with Keep Wickliffe Beautiful, and we are actually right now taking care of plants for various residents around Wickliffe. So we're taking care of their plants while it's obviously winter out, and the kids love that as well. Our pumpkins were actually donated to various residents of Wickliffe and the Wickliffe Senior Center as well, and all of the kids got to take home a pumpkin as well. So it wasn't the best fruitful pumpkin patch, but it worked, and I think it's definitely something that we want to keep going for years to come. But once again, thank you for PSC for allowing us to do all of this, and without PSC we could never have done any of this, and thank you so much.
Thank you.